Yeah, okay, mate. Let's have a look here. Prime, yeah, decent entry here. I actually really like it for a few reasons. I mean, you know, in these, if you remember the last bull market, a lot of coins did have these parabolic runs, and you know, here's your most recent low. So it drops down into this area. In theory, you know, they should hold and give that bounce. You know, it should coming back down to the most recent low is very normal practice, and then hopefully it can form that higher low. So it's getting into a very good area for a start. Now Luna, this is Luna. It's not the best example. It's just something that popped into my head, but and also it didn't actually hold the first low. In my head I had thought maybe it might have held the first low. It didn't. It had this pierce below it, but you can see how important that first low was, that first low structure. It actually stop hunted the low of the structure, but mostly it held, and then you move back up. Now I don't know, and I don't think that it's gonna base like Luna did. It's always a possibility that we need to watch out for, but even still, if it does do that, if we see structures now building this sort of environment, that is fantastic. Now again, not the exact same, but this is Algo. Let me actually move this over just so you can see that. But Algo, you remember we had a big run off the bottom in Algo, you know, and everybody's like, oh, the bull market's on, and then we got this crash back down. Now this is a 3-day chart actually, but I'm just saying, you know, last time we give back a lot of the profits also. And you know, if you found the first major low down here, this is not really your first major low, because it's the crash of the low. When you get a crash like that, you usually see another move down. So I would call this the first major low, and if you got the first major low there and you were able to buy around the first major low or below it even better, you know, you would have done very well. And this is kind of similar here. This is the crash down, but you can see the crash down, it did actually it did pivot lower off that crash. So if I move that here now, well, this has potential to be the first major low. Of course, it's not always easy to say in the moment, but we had the crash, but this actually moved down and tried to stop hunt it afterwards. This crash was a crash candle, and then we bounced to come down below it. This one came down below it in the very next bar. So this is interesting, but what I'm saying here obviously is that it's already a potential for the first major low, and we do have this low here. So if we do get the opportunity to be buying below this first major low, often it's a fantastic place to be buying. I kind of want the market to do this here. You know, this is a real possibility that the market starts to do this. I kind of wanted to do that. Now a lot of people will hate that, but it gives a lot of potential, and we can watch for consolidation and pierces below the first major low. People will think the market's breaking down there, when we know better to be potentially accumulating below the first major low. You know, probably 95% or 99% of people will probably not understand the structure like that. These are designed to chop everybody about, but if you kind of understand them and understand that they can turn from distribution to reaccumulation, they can be extremely powerful. So I don't know if we're going to get the same structure like this, but I'm just saying, if we get dips below this low here at some point, it could be fantastic. Even here has potential to be the first major low, so it would be okay to be buying small here. I mean, it's already had whatever that is, 65% retrace or whatever, and it's above the first major low. Now if the first major low gets taken out, I suppose you would just have to add there and try and build that position. Your first major low is here. So that's why I'm also saying that this kind of lines up very well. So you know what we have here on a 3-month, it's a per 3-month candle. There's no question about it. I would love to see a bullish stop hunt down here, right? If I come back here, right? My ideal situation, and a lot of people might hate this because of the candle we've had, I would love to see a small doji candle or a potential small stop hunt candle here. And if that means chopping about for another 3 months, well, so be it. because then maybe on a new 3 month we could then work our way back up. This 3 month candle here like this could be this type of action, right? And that's what I'm kind of thinking that is very possible in the market right now because of these bad sell-offs. So this is what I'm thinking is going to happen on many coins in the market, right? That's what I'm thinking at this point is going to happen because the sell-off is so bad. I could be wrong. I'm all open to open up on a new candle, having a bullish stop hunt here, right? Something like that, having a slight bullish stop hunt there, and ripping back to the upside. I'm all for something like this happening if it's possible. If we see a bullish stop hunt there, you have to long in anticipation for a probability that this could happen. Even if it moves up to here, and then the next quarterly candle or something does something like that, that's okay too. But the base here is going to be important. Either we hit the bullish stop hunt now soon, or else we form a small candle like this or something like that, and then work our way back up. They are two scenarios that I'm watching very carefully. If I'm wrong and this market continues to crash, well, that is going to be frustrating, right? That is not great. So the truth is, this is a precarious, tricky position, and this sell-off is not good. But if you actually look at it, well, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and three of those 4 candles have been huge green candles. This pullback is probably pretty normal, and that goes for a lot of coins. I could probably click on any coin in the market. Here's True. We based and we had a huge move up, and now it got rejected and it's chopping about there. True, for example, could easily do something like this. It's a nasty sell-off, but it's still holding pretty well, right? For example, now I'm not saying all coins held is good. There's Algo, AMU. Look at these moves up. Things can't go up straight forever. So if we get bullish stop hunts just here, because these are finishing so poor, if we get one more flush lower and get a bullish, that is the potential area for a bullish stop hunt. Well, that would be your buy point right here below this candle, below this red candle. They seem to be finishing poor. So in anticipation of bullish candles, if we do get one more flush, well, the buy point is probably below this big red candle. Of course, the market doesn't always give you what you want, but that is, my thinking at this point. It also continues to fill the large green bar here, and it is also support, right? So, what is this? There's that's 8x to the upside in the pullbacks. Of course, not every coin was that good, and some coins are looking like death. Some coins like that, but so it's not ideal. Personally, I think the market should bounce into the end of the quarter a little bit. This is that coin I was looking at there now. DOT. There's something trying to happen here. It looks like to me that dips down here are buys. Right here, dips on here should be buys for going higher. I actually just shared this in the group. Now the thing is, if DOT is going to bounce, a lot of other coins are going to bounce. The total market cap 2 has a bearish monthly stop hunt. It's kind of suggesting that there can be lower prices. Now what we've got to look for again is, well, I would say suggest a bullish stop hunt on the lows to try and negate that and move right back up. Something like that. If that does something like that, well, this market is going to absolutely moon. So, it's an extremely important time to watch for a failed move. If we get a failed move lower, that could cause fast moves in the opposite direction. This overall structure to me, it looks very bullish. The question is, how low does this go? Do we get one more candle lower, red candle lower? Pretend that's a red candle. Let's change it just so there's no confusion. Are we going to get one more flush lower off this base to then you know, push up? Are we going to do something like that and build out a larger base, you know, before moving up? That is also a possibility. So it's a tricky situation, because this is a bearish candle. This is suggesting we're going lower, right? This is suggesting that we should go lower. But in bull markets and in strong markets, you know, bearish situations can get negated. And if it's going to get negated, well, you would want to be looking for a bullish stop hunt on a new monthly to see if this can then run higher. But the pattern itself is suggesting that there should be some lower prices. The important thing here also is that we are holding volume support, right? See this volume support here? You need to watch that like a hawk. This is larger than any volume we've had. That's very important for going forward. Now, if price pierces below this volume and moves back up above it, that could be the perfect stop hunt, because we have volume. If I've just flipped this to the 3 months, yeah, sorry for the long video here, 11 minutes, but you know, I'm trying to work it out myself. It's a tricky situation that is suggesting more downside, but there's always the potential of a failed move, and we need to look out for that failed move. We need to keep an eye out, find these clues, you know, and the clues are developing, and the clues will, you know, we'll not know for sure until things start to develop a little bit. Sometimes you need that more action just to confirm. At the moment, we don't fully have that yet. Technically, the market is still bearish, but it's like DOT, like we just looked at in DOT, it's trying to put in some sort of a low. The question is, can it hold? Now, we are moving into a new quarter. Well, what I do suggest is keeping an eye on is this, and that's what we're looking at. That bullish monthly stop hunt we looked at, well, that would be a situation like this. We would fill the wick below, flip up, flip green, and then we would run to the upside. And if we run up here, well, there's a good chance we could blow through that and move up here. And if we do run up through this red candle and negate that red candle because of the breakup in the structure, there's a real possibility, you know, we're going to do something like that. So we just got to watch this new quarter very, very carefully. And Prime does look like it's coming into a good location. It looks good here, a little bit lower, it looks great.